Micho Russell, when were you born?
I was born in 1915, the 25th of March, Mick.
Where?
In Donegal, Doolin.
Yeah.
Donegal, Doolin, County Clare.
Well, 1915, that's a long time ago. That's before radio and tape recorders and record players and everything.
Twice.
What did your father work at?
My father was a farmer.
Yeah. What, and how big of a farm did he have?
Well, 21 acres and about 10 acres of a commonage.
Was it hard to make a go of it with a farm that small?
Yeah, God, it was very hard.
Yeah.
It was hard because this farm, in fact, well, you could work easier in a farm if it was all together in one square, you see, but it'd be maybe, say, less than a quarter of a mile in the width, like, but, and it was a mile long and it was all uphill. You could go from the sea all the way up to the mountains.
How many people in the family?
5. Well, 7 altogether. 5 children and my mother and father.
And who were the 5?
Well, my sister, her name was Bridie, and next was Gussie, and Paki, the Lord of Mercy, was the 4th, and a girl called Mary Kate. She was the youngest.
Yeah. Your mother, where did she come from?
She came from a place called Ballykellan, very near, not too far away enough from our own houses. Her name was Moloney.
Good name.
Great name. So there was 3 families in it. And they were so much into the music that they christened them Moloney Jig. The older man used to be, her cousin used to be playing the flute and all days. And the rest, they played concertinas and dew harps.
When did you start to play yourself? How old were you?
About 11 years. I found it very hard to learn first, because I didn't know. I thought the scaling music was the strangest thing there was ever. I couldn't figure it out at all. I had to try and make the sounds myself.
Was it your idea to learn to play, or did somebody ask you to?
Well, I seen those. One man played a tin whistle at a small dance, and I thought he was lovely. He was a shy class man. He went in he sat behind the door and played for they were dancing a set, and I thought he was knocking a lovely sound out of it. The tin whistle he was playing. And after about 2 hours, then there were 2 more brothers come with 2 tin whistles. Clark's tin whistles. So when I went home, my father, Lord of Mercy, was going to fair, and he bought one for me. He told me each time.
Now, you started on the tin whistle, and when did you start on the flute?
God, what will I see now? I suppose it'd be maybe 25 years when I started the flute. My uncle, God rest his soul, brought a flute in the bottom of a trunk from America. That was the first flute I got. So I brought it out on the top of the hill outside my own house, and I was trying to blow it, but I heard it below, heard it in Doolin, about half of them. Very nearly a mile away.
I thought it was the banshee, I suppose.
It was a fine, it was a fine evening.
Yeah. Did you speak Irish at all around Donegal?
Well, where I lived, you see, all the people, it was a part of the girls up to 1940. All the older people used to be talking Irish, playing cards and singing songs in Irish and talking and working. So I never took too much notice of that when I was young, but I heard it. So after years I found out it was very valuable then, but the way they were talking the Irish language that time.
But the younger people weren't as interested, were they?
No, not too much.
Yeah.
As up to 1940, there is some thing happened like that all the old Gaelic language disappeared altogether. There's only 4 people in Doolin now that can talk that language.
You told me about your mother coming from a musical family. How about your father?
Well, not altogether so much in the music, it's more of singing.
Yeah.
He used to sing in Gaelic and sing in English. 'Tis there you'd see the jockeys and the mounted so stately, the pink, the green, the yellow, the emblem of our nation. When the bell was rang for starting, the horses seemed so impatient. You'd swear they never stood upon the ground, their speed was so amazing. Gramach rima cruishkin, slantje galma woornin, gramach rima cruishkin, aga specialan. There was 500,000 people there of all denominations, the Catholic, the Protestant, the Jew and Presbyterian. There was yet no animosity, no matter what persuasion, only falcon hospitality and making fresh acquaintance. Gramach rima cruishkin, slantje galma woornin, Gram a chrim a cruiskin agus specialan. Ta oberalan da janen ver in tev scho. Kurtis kashalan ig bar sliev na gerach. Ta koers rasaun is bras ta an eren. Agus clocha bana kopeltje gach tevlish. Gram a chrim a cruiskin slantje gal ma woornin. Gram a chrim a cruiskin agus specialan. Ta oesel klaar bamba, ik tarrant is ik trialoon. Stapelte de kappel, korkje agus feroon. Talan suesne sleetje, deg troebe agus ik trialoon. Maar het dagach orredelle bechtillig neergoon. Grame greme kroeskin, slaantje gal me woornin. Grame greme kroeskin, agus beshelan. I think I spoke about this tune that I'm going to play now in the tape that I have here. About these three men that was coming from the Battle of Fontenoy, and their boat got stopped out in the middle of the Atlantic. So it seems that they didn't know what to do, but they were good Catholics, and they prayed, I suppose. It must be getting dangerous because they didn't know where was the boat going to land or what was to happen. But it happened all of a sudden that this might be a little bit of folklore, you know. I got it from older people. A big storm arose over in the western part and drove the boat across the Atlantic. And landed in a place called Corwashkin, near Kilkee in the County Clare, dry up on the land. So you could imagine how the way the boat was going when they played the tune.
When you were learning the instrument, did you practice a lot?
I did, Pat.
And where would you do that?
Well, inside my own house, at home. Of course, that time was here. You wouldn't want to be here playing in the daytime because, well, the people, the neighbours might think it very strange to be playing music in any house where that hear a concert here and which playing inside, and they were making off, they weren't doing any other thing, you see, only there wouldn't be any great respect for them, you understand. So it had to be kept a little bit quieter.
So people thought that there were only certain times that music should be played?
That's right.
Like when?
In the night time, they'd go to the neighbours' houses and special occasions.
Who played the music?
The poor people played the whole type of music. The poor fishermen and the people that was living in by the seashore and small farmers. But then the upper class people that they didn't want it anywhere. Whatever was the cause of it, I don't know.
Is that different now?
A little bit different, and it's still, there's a little bit left all the time. Well, this time I'm going to sing a song. The song would be about a very popular man over here in the old days, a man called John Philip Holland. He was the first man that invented the first submarine. So he was supposed to be born in not far from where I live at home, in a place called the Scanner. So the poor man, God rest him, he's supposed to be buried here in Paterson, New Jersey. So I got the song off of a young man that was over in Connemara. He was a teacher. And there he put in this, he got there off of from an older singer in Connemara called The Song of the White Strand. In Gaelic language, that would be Urana Traban. So I'll introduce it with the music. Come all you young Irishmen who walk upon the land, their feats and deeds and their fairy creeds, that you might understand. There is one of them that comes to mind, the likes was never seen. He was John Philip Holland, who invented the submarine. It was in Liscannor he was born in the wild west coast of Clare, not far from the cliffs of Moher that hangs so high in the air. Liscannor Bay stretches far away from Haggshead to Reneen. It was there, old man, he formed the plan, and they called her the submarine. For 14 years he taught it home in his own dear native land, till immigration he sailed away into a foreign strand. In Paterson, New Jersey, on his work he became quite keen. The boat and show could go below, and they called her the submarine. The U.S. Navy thought the man was crazy. They thrown his plan one side, but Holland paid no heed to them in his boat beneath the tide. Down below, where only fishes go, the yoke was plain to be seen. It was John Philip Holland inside his first submarine. In the year of 1914, the year of the Great War, a death appeared in the papers. It was read both near and far. That man, he died in poverty, but he did realize his dream. He was John Philip Holland, who invented the submarine. Come all you sailors, both young and old, and listen unto me. You'll go on a boat that will go afloat below under the sea. Be you Russian, Cuban, Australian or Philippine, raise your glass in the air for the man from Clare who invented the submarine.
What did the music mean to you? I know it's a hard question, but I'm just wondering, putting myself back now in the 1920s or 30s, before radio was common, and you said you practiced a lot. Did you play a lot on your own?
I did. Well, it meant everything, and it was a part of my life altogether, you could say. I don't know how it was, but I liked it very much, and I'm still learning to find out a lot more about it now. I'm beginning to know about it entirely. One more, be all right, Bill. So maybe finish up the night. We're inside in the Holy Church. We will play my version of the Amazing Grace.